used as a bowling club before in the past. And this is a picture of the green at the back of Poetry House that we open it up in the summer when we're here and it's lovely weather out. And people can walk along the grass. It's a lovely grass area out back if you've not seen it before. But this was used as the bowling space. In my head, I can't imagine it and how they would do it. You know, it's for me, I can't, because I'm always used to bowling being the ones where you go in the lanes in Stratford and everything is wooden and paved out. But this is the bowls at the back here. And I've written on the side a sense of that word, and a sense of community, okay? That first word is meant to mean a sense of friendship and friendliness. Or is it a sense of something else? What I would like you to have a look and think about is how a place such as Poetry House can bring people together. People from all walks of life, for various reasons. And even with the bowling club, when it was a bowling club, perhaps the people who came, we don't know much about them, but perhaps the people who came all came with different reasons for visiting the club, even if they all came to bowl, just like us. We come to Poetry House every week. We come to write poetry, but our motivations for coming to write poetry are all different. I come to write poetry because for me, poetry is a healing process that allows me to deal with the fact that I don't like waking up at 7 in the morning to go to my job. For somebody else, it might be they come to write poetry to help them laugh at things in their life that they're not able to laugh at in their day-to-day routine. So what I want you to think about is the sense of community that you get through something like Poetry House, but the sense of camaraderie. I still haven't said it correctly. But also, why? The motivation behind why you come to Poetry House. And I would like you to write about that for me, please. I don't know if that was clear. I'm going to think about the sense of friendliness and community that a place like Poetry House brings. But we're also going to think about the motivations behind why people come to a place like Poetry House. And we're going to write a poem that links those two things together. That was much clearer. Okay, thank you. Who would like to start us off with the sharing?
I can start, Charlene.
Fabulous, thank you, Anushka.
Okay. At this time, a little bit longer. I know it's a bit lazy when I'm at home, you know, I write. Hoping it's a bit longer. I see the Poetry House as a beautiful lady in a summer white dress, welcoming everyone. People from all walks of life, cuddling the bruised souls, sealing the wounds of the broken hearts, kissing the faces drowning in tears, whispering the words of encouragement, dancing with souls full of love, drunk with poetry words. This Poetry House, this white lady, this place, it's my rebirth, my discovery of femininity, great power, becoming vulnerable, becoming more visible to this world, with a strong, clear voice, spreading the messages of the power and love. That's it.
Thank you. Who would like to go next?
Thank you.
Oh, who was that? Oh, maybe nobody. Agnes, yes.
Hi, Charlene. Hi, everyone. This actually, I wrote it more inspired by that text, you know, that you were showing us before, but
yes.
I think it goes together with this one too.
Okay.
Provide me with courage, moral force, challenge my character and temper. Test to a duel of self-control, afford a chance to play gentleman. Tell me old stories of history and life. Paint vivid pictures with your words and sounds. We'll write new poems and talk big ideas, channeling inspiration.
Beautiful, thank you very much. Okay, who's next?
I'll have a go.
Thanks, Fontana.
When we're journeying together through emotion and new thoughts, united by shared reality that we're not what we've been taught, it keeps the winds of wisdom blow in fresh when flickers fade, restores our trust that we are seen and heard when new emotions made. To have a common ground that's rooted seeds of brighter days, illuminating possibility when mind is closed to other ways, brings meaning to our choices, to connect with kindred kind, to the treasures deep within us, others sure may help us find.
Peter, thank you.
Can you unmute me?
You are unmuted, Peter.
Okay.
You've just muted yourself back though, Peter.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, how we need somewhere to express our special interest and creativity and individuality. Mobile phone apps, creativity away from mobile phone apps. So many people express anger, emotion when they see fly tips. Thrown onto so many people if we walk about in the high street, go by bus for less bustle. No, so many people on the bus. Here at Poetry House, we explore our inner selves. Oh, the ways we explore our inner selves. We can be comic, we can be therapeutic, let out of depression, we can be political, we can speak out in our own way against social injustice. That does not include fly tips. I'm not going to write a poem about fly tips.
Thank you, Peter.
Oi, you better let me read my poem next, yeah?
Go on, Hector.
7 years and I'm still here. And I remember how it all started. The vision forever engraved in the back of my mind. Sitting quietly by the window in Green Street Library. Biscuits and coffee laying before us as we put pen to paper and jotted down words which would last a lifetime. Sharing amongst those I knew who would listen. A community that is accepting and supportive, and memories that could only be experienced right here in this very club. It's not hard to see what keeps me here. The passage of time matters not, as this is not a wound in need of healing.
Fabulous, thank you, Hector. Okay, anybody next? William, thank you.
A safe space to read whatever you wish to share without criticism or condemnation. A respectful space that encourages us to share our hopes and vulnerabilities. A place where we are pleased and gratified that others want to listen to something that we'd like to say, but fear it much too trivial or inflated to waste people's time with. In a world so censorious that many of us are afraid to speak.
Okay, anybody else? I wrote something so I can share as well. Escape brings me here each week to walk the fine line between reality and fantasy, to totter close to the edge of insanity and learn how to claim back the parts of me I left for crazy during the other days of my life. And I meet like minds here, others who understand the lifeline that is words dripping onto paper. Sorry, somebody's just needed to be admitted in. Others who spin verse and rhyme into a universe of possibilities. And we converse in this space, created for collective creativity. We join and explore the witchcraft of our words. And when we leave here, we are better for it, lighter and fuller, ready to take on forever. Okay, if nobody else would like to share, we shall move on. This next activity, I'm going to stop share the screen because we don't need the screen for that one. This next activity, I'm going to show you an item that we procured. Sorry, okay, an item that we procured from one of the rooms again in here, and this is a pair of shoes. We reckon it was used for bowling on the green. Okay, just a pair of shoes. Now, if you've ever bowled before, you will know that there is specific bowling shoes that you have to wear when you go in to bowl. I don't know why, for on the green, but I know that in the bowling places where it's got the wooden bits, it's so that it can grip the wooden floors and you don't go flying when you throw the balls down. Okay, so these pair of shoes. What I would like you to do right now is I would like you to write a poem inspired by these pair of shoes and the line, would you walk a mile in these shoes? Okay, so I'll just say that again. You're writing a poem inspired by these shoes and the line, would you walk a mile in these shoes? And who'd like to share?
Okay, I can share.
Fabulous, thank you, Agnieszka.
Okay, sorry, I'm again, yeah. Okay. Would you walk a mile in these shoes? I would walk in these shoes steeped in history, impregnated with beauty of olden days. The leather has cracked, it doesn't matter. It shows the baggage of experience, the weight of wisdom they gained. I would run miles and miles in them. I'm an old soul, and my soul would love them, a pair of worn out shoes, as they have their soul, their own soul. It's golden. That's it.
Thank you, Agnieszka.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would like to go next? William, thank you.
These shoes aren't made for walking, but for stalking and trophy time. Can I go out barefoot, drinking up the dew, spreading footprints nightly, stained by all the beauty I have wished for you? Shoes are worn for safety, but that isn't really true. For the more supportive the leather and the sole, the deeper the atrophy of your dancing foot.
Thank you, William. Peter, yes.
Very good. Well, I never. Bowling shoes. Look silly and painful shoes to me. Stiff for front of foot. I would not know how to clean them or even put them on. What? These shoes so as not to slip on the mat, but we have trainers now. Bowls people. You thought we all have thick-skinned, hard-strained feet. What about footsore people like me, with sore feet and heels, aching corns, hard toenails? Nobody bloody well thinks of us. My foot calling. I'm sensitive, you know. I want tender, loving care. Oh, I hear the president of the Bowls Club is a foot surgeon.
Thank you, Peter. Okay, who'd like to go next?
Yeah, I can go.
Fontana, yes, thank you.
Yes, go on, Fontana.
Not quite my soft, smooth sketches. These are earthy, brown and cracked. No frills are felt in these boots till bowls are closest to the jack. Would you walk a mile in these shoes for the fun or history? Or would you hold them entertaining all as if on QVC?
Thank you. As if for QVC, at the end, that's Olympia said. Thank you. Michelle?
Yeah, okay, thanks. Step out of my shoes, into these shoes, unknown walk, new way, an unchosen journey. I would walk miles and miles in these shoes, to bravely let go, and open fully to experience another new paradigm. Who knows what I will think, feel, believe, a different worldview. To walk a mile in these shoes, what I understand as a mile as a measure of distance may be completely different.
Thank you so much. Okay. Anybody else?
I can go.
Olympia, thank you.
It would be interesting to experience life on the other foot. Oh, no, hold on, sorry. Soft brown leather, some wear and tear. These shoes have seen, many agree, shiny and luxurious lawn. Grass trimmed to perfection with a ruler to measure symmetry. Ready to be stepped on. Shiny balls sparkle in the sun's reflection. Who owned these shoes? Some might say a gregarious old boar. The honest truth is that we don't know. Maybe he was a stickler for perfection. It would be interesting to experience life on the other foot, to live the life they would have gone through, experience a different London, be treated differently because of my gender interference. I would walk a mile in those shoes to experience it, to see how another mind thinks, how another heart feels, the societal expectations of that person, and how their treatment differs to mine.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to go? Okay, well, I'll share mine. Would you experience life from a different lens and zoom in on an alternate perspective? Would you walk through the valley and up these mountains on a wing and a prayer? Would you leave your ways behind? Would you leave your views behind and see things through my eyes? Would you walk a mile in these shoes? Would you wait in line patiently as the story of life is recalled? Would you hold hands with demons that weren't even yours? Would you go on this great journey to find this great treasure? And then would you give it all up because it gave someone else pleasure? Would you hold on to memories and hold on to the stories? Would you walk a mile in these shoes? Would you slay those dragons and rescue the army? Would you refuse to fight and instead choose to extend love to your enemy? Would you go to the ends of the earth or the depths of the sea for me and he and they and she? Would you walk a mile in these shoes?
Can I share real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you walk a mile in these shoes? No, these old torn stinky slabs of leather with a grip tighter than a jockstrap, scruffier than an unshaved neck beard, but good for walks in the snow, very good for walks in the snow. But when the hell does it ever snow in this country? Try and make a snowman, all you'll be able to get is a carrot and some twigs. And those fits look like something from the 1920s. Walk a mile in those and that's social suicide.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you, Hector.
Okay, I'm gonna go next.
Yeah.
The leather has cracked, exposing lines of memories and pastimes. The arrow's still there, pointing towards stories and fun games. What undercover gems are you still hiding? What possibilities are in your vicinity? You don't look like you've lost your shape or anything. You don't come across too weary on sun or sunburned. Let me examine your firm underbelly. I wish to submerge in adventures you hold on to. Once upon a time, you felt like $1 million. I want to taste that feeling. Let me explore ya.
Yes, thank you so much, Agnes. Okay. Anybody else? No, thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Agnieszka. I just read your thing in the chat.
You're very welcome. I really liked it. You know, I could identify myself so much. You know, it evoked so many feelings in me. Oh, wow, that was very deep. Thank you.
I'm happy that my poem did
Thank
that
you
for
so much.
Okay. Right. So we've got one more poem. Okay, I was late by 10 minutes this morning, and so I understand if you do not want to spend an extra time writing another poem. However, if you would like, I've got one more that we could write. It's all up to you. What do we think? Yes, one more. Okay. I can see some nods, so we're going for one more. Okay, this last poem now is bringing everything together. We've been here for 4 weeks. It's been 4 weeks already. Can you imagine? I'm talking about pavilion stories and learning about the history of Poetry House through the eyes of the residents and the artifacts that we found. So I want you to have a little think about what heritage means in terms of the things that we've discovered in the 4 weeks. What does heritage mean? And why is it important to preserve stories? Okay, so it's two things, two separate things that you're thinking about, but then you're going to combine those into one. So the first thing is, what does heritage really mean when we're thinking about a Poetry House and the things that we found? And then why is it important to preserve stories such as these? And you're going to write your last poem based on these two questions. William, thank you.
Is heritage important? Maybe, not really, unless it takes its time to bite me. Can heritage destroy me? Stories are the teaching tools, which I guess makes heritage quite cool.
Thank you very much.
Well, I can share, but I think I haven't finished yet, but I will work on it. Well, I always say that, but hopefully. Stories are like bags full of treasure. You will not know what they contain unless you unpack them. You touch and experience different textures. You explore various shapes. Stories are like the whisper of old trees. They observed so much. Their roots have observed so much love. Absorbed, sorry, so much love. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, Sharon, I think I will be going. I really enjoyed the session and I'm so sorry. I just need to go somewhere.
All right,
Thank
it's fine. It's fine. It's my fault that I was a little bit late. So
no, it's not. No, things
okay.
happen, especially things like technology and are beyond our control. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks for coming and sharing your poetry with
and
us.
Finally, hopefully, I will come to the Poetry House next week.
Yeah, and next week is run by Olympia.
Olympia, excellent. And hopefully one day by me. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
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 Okay, so who would like to go next? Phil is going to go. Thank you, Phil.
Heritage is the soul of a people, a celebration of a common past, of smiles together, tears together, fights and make-up hugs together, the starting of relationships, the closing of those doors. It is a reminder that we weren't the first and won't be the last.
Okay, who else?
Okay.
Olympia would like to go. Thank you, Olympia.
Times change, they come and go. 22nd century Britain, a multicultural situation. Not so too. How much of the white man can we go on celebrating? That was then, this is now. Our moments are the ones that need to be encapsulated. The past of our ancestors were erased. I don't want to take away from their stories. However, there comes a time and a place we need to write new ones. We're here because our lands were plundered. Some don't want us here, but how did they get here?
Thank you, Olympia. Anybody else would like to share? This is the deaf stare on Zoom that reaches no one. It's fine. I'll read mine next. It's very short, and if anybody would like to go in that time, it will give you time to finish up. So, okay. Later on in life, someone will look back and remember that we were here. Hopefully, they'll see we made a difference. Wow. That's it. Okay. Yes, William has just asked for me to read it again, so I will. Later on in life, someone will look back and remember that we were here. Hopefully, they'll see we made a difference. Anybody else? Agnes, fabulous. Thank you very much.
Okay, I unmute myself. It's a sketch, but I'm gonna go for it. Our moments in time, years and decades in line, faces, new and some old, connected by the same place, threads of the old ones before and of others before them. It doesn't matter with strangers. We're joined in love in poems.
Thank you so much. Sonia, you wrote anything? No. Okay. Okay. Right. Well, anybody else? Final takers? Let's put that gallery view so we can see everyone. Right. So we have reached the end of our session. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and sharing these last 4 weeks with me as we explored pavilion histories. We have learned a little bit more about Poetry House, our Poetry House, and we have realized how we are also adding to that story that will later on be told about Poetry House. And again, like, because what Hamza said 2 weeks ago is still so relevant, we have been enchanting people. You know, I'm going to keep on that for the rest of the year because it was just so good. I know, that's it. Right. So thank you so much for coming and giving us your time. Just to let you know about next week. So this was it. This is the end of Pavilion Histories run by myself. Next week, the session will be run by Olympia. And on Meetup, this is what it says. It is an hour and a half of creative exploration. It's called Just Poetry. It is led by Olympia. Do the math. Poet plus passion equals poetry unprocessed, unstoppable, unafraid, unrefined, unexplained, unleashed, unknown, uncontrollable, unbridled, unrefined, unbelievable, unrelenting, but never inconsequential. So, guys, come next week to find out what that's about. Okay? And on that note, I'm going to stop the recording.
May I ask?
Take care.